Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel Read with Kim, and today it is a rainy day and I just love it so much. I have here my tea, can you see? It's so mm, it's so good. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about sorry, I'm gonna talk about two very well-known classics from the same author, and I am talking about Anna Karenina, so heavy, and War and Peace from Leo Tolstoy. Now, I'm not gonna give a full review because it will take me forever, but I'm gonna say a little bit of each book and then what book I like the most, what book I think you should read first, what are my thoughts about that, and all this is going to be spoiler free. So if you haven't read any of those classics, you can absolutely watch entire video because I won't spoil anything really like oh my god, right? So let's get into this week's video. So was a Russian author from the 800s, and he is really well known. And I'm going to talk first about Anna Karenina. Anna Karenina is a completed drama, and I did a full review somewhere in my channel, so feel free to look for it. But basically, this book is about this woman who is married with this older man who he is just adorable and has like a heart, like gold heart, like a really good heart, marries her, but she somehow fell in love with this young man. Now, Anna Karenina is way younger than her husband, right? It's not justified, but I'm just saying. And she fell in love with this guy, young man, in like this passion, crazy love. And she decides to commit adultery and leave everything for him. So that's basically everything about her journey. And it talks a lot about forgiveness, about consequences. It was a really emotional book. Now, I want to talk about War and Peace. This book, it has been the most longest book that I ever read. And to be truly honest, I think it will be the longest book I ever read because it's literally, and I'm not lying to you, it literally is 1,260 pages. Now, I'm going to recommend you to buy or get a good translation because this book is a lot in French. Um, Basically the first part of the book. So if you don't get a good translation, it can ruin your entire experience just for that. Now, this book is a lot. It's a lot, and it's about the war when the French from Napoleon takes over Russia, invades Russia, wants to take Russia. And in between this, there is a lot of drama between the characters. So we have this family who basically they want to get married, the daughters. One of the daughters fell in love with this guy but commits adultery as well. And it talks about a lot of honor, about forgiveness. My favorite character is Prince Andrew. I think he's definitely my favorite character. And talks about religion, about believing in God. Um, it also we have this character Anatoly, who he is a complete like horrible human being. That he was just going for the money and he doesn't care anything at all. Who is being able to destroy, and he reaches this vulnerable girl Nastasha, who gets in some confusion. And it's really emotional. It's very good as well. This one, it took me way longer to get into, to be really honest. It took me, I would say, almost 2 months. 2 months of my time. And in some points, I was really overwhelmed. I was like, this is a lot because it's a lot about the war, about the battles. It was in some point like, oh my god, and it's extremely descriptive. So it is good. I think Lotto did an incredible job, and that's why this book is well known and won so many sorry, my kitty is here. So many prizes, and it's like classic. But yeah, it took me a while to get into the book in order for me to be able to compare both books. And I just want to say this, I'm not going to say which one is better because this is completely a subjective opinion, so it's just for me. So, talking about pace, definitely Anna Karenina. Anna Karenina was way faster for me. It was like, okay, get into the point, even though he was description a lot, it was not too much. Rather than War and Peace, who was like a lot about every single detail. It was for me like, okay, so if you're a fast-paced reader who enjoys those books, this is gonna be a little bit painful. So for me, Anna Karenina definitely about pace. Now, talking about character developments, I think War and Peace took the time to really get to know each of the characters and get to know why they act the way they are, what is the end, and why. So I really enjoy how he developed Anatoly, how he developed Nastasia, how he developed also Prince Andrei, who are really good people, but Anatoly no. But we know why he's like that and how he was the same way since the beginning. So for me, and this on contrary on Anna Karenina is basically centered Anna Karenina, the lover and the husband. But I feel like there is more characters who could be playing a better role there. So in character development, my favorite was War and Peace. Regarding the story, honestly, both are so well done. Both are classics. Both are written in a moment of the history where so many things were happening, the war, the society. So both stories for me are really, really good. Um, my suggestion, if you want to choose one of those, I would choose Anna Karenina. If you want to ask me what book would I should I read first, I will suggest Anna Karenina. And if you ask me what book do you like the most, for me, Anna Karenina. Anna Karenina, because I said all the reasons. I'm a fast-paced reader. I took me a while to get into War and Peace. It was way easier getting to the book. I don't have to deal a lot with French. I know about the wars, so the story was way easy to understand for me. Even though talking about morals and values, and I think every single person should read War and Peace because morals are so important. Having a read War and Peace gives you this like taste of this really exists. Like love really exists, moral really exists, second chances really exist, Jesus and all that. Well, I would say Jesus, I would say God is here. Nastasia is one of my favorite characters also when she made this big mistake, but it's also always a second opportunity for every single person who really regrets what they did, right? With nobody to judge anyone in this life. We don't know who is walking with, and also she was really innocent, really immature, and didn't have experience with this man Anatoly. So for me, see how she grew, how she was being mature, how she changed, how she was able to, to try to make amends for what she did to Prince Andrew was beautiful. And the end, I was just like crying up that it's not happening, like Andre is not happening like this. But it was so beautiful. But as I said, I was really more invested when I came. This is way more, in my opinion, dramatic, and as a woman, more like emotions, like this, that, and So yeah. So Anna Karenina, Anna Karenina, Anna Karenina is my winner between those two. This is amazing, but this is for me better in everything for me. So say. Um, I think Leo Tolstoy is one of my favorite classic authors, but you have to come, especially if you decide to go by War and Peace. I recommend you come with a very open mind. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get like I have to read this book in a specific time because it's not gonna happen. It's gonna just get frustrate you. You're gonna start hating the book and you're not gonna enjoy it. So what I suggest and what I did is get into them. Get into don't force yourself. Maybe set a goal. Maybe what I did it was like 100 pages every day, morning and night. I mean, 50 in the morning, 50 at night. But when you start feeling like, okay, I am getting overwhelmed by this book, leave it for a second. Pick another one. Read an easy novel, and then come back to One Piece again, and then you start getting into. In some point, you will get into the book. In some point, you will like, this is a great story. You will. but you have to have patience with this. You have to understand that he's going through a lot of descriptions for you to get into that. But if it's your first time, pick Anna Karenina. You're not gonna regret. This is my winning and one of my favorite novels.